channel. I am Alicia Danielle. Thank y'all so much for coming back for another video. But if you are new here, it is just simply welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy me and my energy just enough that you will subscribe to my channel. Comment down below and make sure y'all give me some thumbs up. I got some special guests today. Y'all know this one over here, Kiara. She's been on my channel a couple of times. But hey! Y'all, we got my son on the video. Welcome to my channel, boy.
What's up, Mom?
Yes, okay. So we're going to do a milk bun. This thing is all about a candid conversation with my two adult children 15 years after their father passed away. And I thought that doing what is it called? A mukbang. I don't know how to say it. Mukbang, is that how you say it? Mukbang is how you say it? I thought that would be a little bit more chill than to sit down and like kind of have a sit down video and more serious kind of thing. So we are doing it this way. We got our food right here. Y'all can't see it. Me and Kiara got some chicken. Jaquan don't eat chicken. He don't eat meat.
Yeah, I don't eat meat.
So he got fish. He got some fried fish. Show you fried fish, son. There the fried fish go. Okay. So we got our little ketchup and our ranch. I don't eat ketchup. You want some ketchup? You don't want no ranch? No, none of that kind of stuff? Okay, we got our little drinks here. So we're going to get started. I don't really have no kind of direction with this video whatsoever. I really don't. But I don't want to push them further than what they want to be. But I do want to start out by saying that their father was an excellent father. He was in their lives pretty much, well, I shouldn't say pretty much, their whole lives. He's never left, never wavered, never any of that. And, you know, he is truly missed dearly. Anyways, y'all want to say some things about y'all dad before we get too far into the deep things about him passing away and all that kind of stuff? Do y'all want to say anything like when y'all were little? Any kind of memories that y'all want to say before we get too deep into it? Can I have some ranch? Jaquan?
Do we just start eating?
Mm-hmm. You just start eating and talking. You ain't never watched him. He must have ain't never watched a book before, y'all. But you can eat and talk at the same time. You want to say anything, Jaquan, Kiara, whichever one of y'all want to go first? Kiara?
He was a good dad. You know, he was fair. Well, yeah, he was fair, I think, a lot of the times. That's about, I mean, you know, he was really good. We had great Christmases, great memories.
What about you, Jaquan?
Well, of course, you know, it would be an understatement to say that he was a great dad, because now that he's gone, it's kind of like a dream in a sense, because it's like a lot of people don't even get to experience having the type of father that we had. And then as well too, our background of, you know, our skin color.
Yeah, true.
A lot of kids don't even have both parents, or their father don't even want to be in their lives, and we have one that wanted to be in our lives.
So true.
Pushed
so
to
true.
be in our lives.
Pushed to be in our lives, yes. So true. That is so true. But I didn't have to push him to be in his kids' lives. I didn't have to threaten him. I didn't have to do any of that. I didn't have to put him on child support. I didn't have to do any of that. He just did what a grown man does, and that's take care of his kids and his family. And you know, if you want to be remembered by anything, you want to be remembered by the fact that you was a good person all around. He was a good person all around. He wasn't a very good boyfriend, but he was a good person. But he was a good person all around. He would do anything for anybody. Now, Kiara, how old were you when your father passed away? I can't remember.
14?
You 16, right?
15.
15?
So then I was 13 because we're 2 years apart.
You was 13? Okay.
I was 14.
I couldn't remember. So, let's talk about the day that we said what we said as far as your daddy is no longer living. And
Go right to it.
right to it. And the emotions that you felt at that moment, or even if you remember, if you don't remember, that's one thing. Kiara, I need you to move over just a little bit.
I was thinking that. It's crazy.
What you think was? That she move over?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. The emotions that y'all felt, if you even remember, because it hasn't been 15 years, but what was y'all? What do y'all remember the emotions that you felt back then?
Yeah.
What were your emotions back then?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
the world stopped for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It was like silence.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment Grandma said it.
The world stopped. We felt like the world had like froze for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
And you were trying to figure out, did she just say what I think she just said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Quan?
I just wanted to run.
You just wanted to run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a metaphor for like I was running away from my problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you remember, I ran.
Mm-hmm. You did. I was just about to say that. Right when it came out of Mommy's mouth, you did kind of run, but we stopped you, of course, obviously. So yeah, you know, when you said that, it made me think of that, like, oh, he actually did do that. So you just wanted to run, kind of.
Yeah, I wanted to get away from it all.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know where I wanted to run. I just knew I wanted to just get out of that room.
At that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And for me, when I found out that my kid's father was murdered, because he was murdered, it was like Kiara said, the world stopped for 30 seconds. And I was trying to figure out if what Gayla had just told me, because my god sister Gayla is the one that told me. And I was trying to figure out, did she just say that Howard was killed? Is that what she just said?
Kind of think you didn't hear it right.
You kind of think you didn't hear that right. And then she even said after that, well, we don't know. Let's just go call him first. And so I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's go call him first. And so for me, there was never a time that Howard did not answer the phone for me. Do you guys hear that clicking?
That was me.
Oh, okay. Never a time that he didn't answer the phone for me. So when I called him and his phone went to his voicemail, you know who you called, you know what to do. Y'all remember that? That's terrible that we remember the message.
Right. If you
But
heard that, you was hurt.
right. When I heard that, I was like, oh my God, it's real. But even in that moment, I said, maybe not. I was still trying to justify, maybe not. So when I called Nikki, and Nikki was his girlfriend at the time he passed away. When I called her and she answered the phone, and the first thing she said was, Alicia, I didn't want you to find out just yet. I was going to call you. That's when I knew, okay, this is real. Do you hear me? This is real. And I'm going to have to tell my kids that the man that they love and they look up to is no longer in this world. And as a parent, you feel like you're supposed to be able to, you know what I'm saying, help your kids make it better. You know, you wipe up their boo-boos and you clean them up and you tell them it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Comfort
You know, comfort them, put a little Band-Aid on them and send them on out their way, and they just happy about it because their mama done did what she needed to do. But in this moment, I couldn't put a Band-Aid on it. I couldn't clean it up. I couldn't even say that it didn't really happen. And the biggest thing that will bother me the most was I couldn't identify with their pain because my father is still living.
Yeah.
So I had no idea the pain that they was about to feel. And all I could say in that moment when I found out it was real was my kids, my kids, my kids. I said it over and over and over. And I shout out to my family because my natural family as well as my godparents and my god sisters and my god brothers, all of them, my church family that I had in New York, shout out to them because y'all, when I went in the house, I went into my Aunt Leola's house because that's where I was when I found out, and there was nobody there. But then after I got myself together, because I had my head on the table and I got myself together and I happened to look up, it was a house full of people. My godparents was there, my god sisters was there, their husbands was there, my sister was there, my niece and my nephew. I was just like, where did all these people come from? Like, first of all, when did these people find out? And unbeknownst to me, they knew all day. And I was at work and they wouldn't tell me. Because I was at work. And I was like, so my sister kept calling me and asking, well, not my sister, my cousin kept calling me and asking me stupid questions like, where you work at? And what you doing? I'm like, you know what I do. Like, you know where I work. Like, what is you talking about? It was weird. It was just very, very weird.
Very weird, dude.
Very weird. But anyway, and that day seemed like that particular day when I first found out that day, I had told Nikki, do not tell my children until I get there. Because they were with their father. They lived with their father at the time. And I didn't want her to tell them because I didn't want to. I knew I couldn't put Band-Aids on them. I knew I couldn't clean them up. But I knew I could be there to hug them, to give them a little bit of comfort, to know that one of their parents is in the building. And so that day was just, it felt like it felt like it moved in slow motion because I went home. I bought me a ticket because I left the next day, and my nephew was really small at the time. And I told my sister to bring him in because I felt like if he come in the house, he would make me laugh. And even though he made me laugh, it was still weird. You know what I'm saying? It was still really weird. I kept crying all day, and it was just weird. So yeah, and it's funny how your brain remembers the trauma that you have so vividly, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like that day was yesterday, kind of, and not 15 years ago. You know what I mean? It's really, really weird. It's like you want the trauma to no longer be in your brain anymore, and the good memories to stay up, because you can't think of all the good times you had. You had so many, but you can't think of all the good times, but you can vividly think of the bad thing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that.
I could close my eyes and feel me at that park the day that I was told that my dad dies. I could.
You was at the house. You wasn't in the park.
No, we went to the park.
No, we was at the house.
I'm saying before y'all had got.
Oh, before we. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. You saying like all the stuff that they did to keep your brain moving.
Yeah, like waking up, getting ready for school, to being told I don't have to go to school, and to give me to give Londa my phone. And it was just like, what? Like,
well, I gotta give her my phone.
like, why?
And they
Out
trying.
of all days that Nikki, out of all days of days, Nikki breaks her routine. She just leaves the house out of nowhere and don't tell nobody.
She didn't take nothing.
Okay.
And that was not like Nikki. We always knew when she was leaving.
Like, okay, that's kind of weird. Then we go to the park and it's just like, it's cool, but then Nikki dad shows up too as well. So it's like, why are you here? Like, it was just.
It was weird.
Countless weird things happening back to back to back, and I'm like, yo, okay, something's got to be happening. But we thought, the weird thing is we thought that Daddy was actually coming home, like, because in a sense that's what we was being told.
Right.
Yeah. Now that I think about it.
Right.
Yeah. Cause I remember asking Londa, "Where is Nikki?" And she was like, "She went to go get your dad or something like that." And I was like, "Okay."
She did kind of.
Yeah, she did.
But not kind of how you would wanted her to, but nevertheless. And then for me, you know, like I said, I flew out the very next day, but I waited for Nikki to come back in town because Howard died in Atlanta, and these guys lived in North Carolina, so
Jacksonville to be exact.
Jacksonville. Okay then.
Shout out, really.
Shout out. Okay. So I had to wait for her to come back to tell them. So I was in their same city for about 2 days. And they didn't know. We didn't go anywhere. We stayed in a hotel, me and my parents. And first of all, let me stop. Shout out to my parents. Okay, listen. My parents is second to none. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they did that.
Because they was right there the next day, honey. They was like, when you leaving, what time you leaving, I'll be there, I'm on the way. And child, when you got good parents, take care of y'all parents, okay? If y'all still got y'all parents and they're good to y'all, take care of them. Because honey, my parents, shout out to them, because they came, they picked me up from the airport, we went to the hotel. We laid low, stayed at the hotel. We didn't really want to go too many different places because we didn't know where they were and what they were doing and all that kind of stuff. While I was waiting for Nikki to come back into North Carolina. And then, once she came back, I met her at the house. And even still, I was outside of their house without them even knowing that I was outside. None of us, really, to be quite honest.
We didn't know y'all was out. We knew something was going on. I knew something was going on because Nikki's sister had came. We was all in there dancing around and just having fun. And Nikki's sister came in there and whispered in her dad ears and was like, "Nikki's here." And then all of a sudden, everybody disappeared. And it was like, okay, but they were too busy trying to keep our minds going, which I do thank them for.
For sure.
Because if it wasn't for them,
shout out to them too.
yes. If it wasn't for them, somebody would have
found out.
Yeah, figured out something. Especially because Precious kept asking me, "How are you doing? Are you okay?" And then they were like, you can't talk to your friend. You can't watch the news or the TV or something else. You can't go to school. And it was really weird. But I definitely thought Daddy was coming home. It was like about to be a big party or something.
Right. But me and Nikki was outside, and me and Nikki took our time on by ourselves while we waited, while we got ourselves together to even be able to tell our kids that their father is no longer deceased. Not only did she have to tell our kids, but she had to do her own grieving process because that was her boyfriend at the time. So she had to do her own grieving process, and we really did not have we had no kind of direction whatsoever. Okay, we just walked in the house. We took a moment, and I said, "Are you ready?" And she said, "I'm ready." "Are you ready?" And I said, "I'm ready." And we went in the house, and we still did. The funny thing is, we didn't talk about a direction. We didn't say, "Okay, when I go in there, we're gonna have you say it, you gonna say it, or no, you say it." Or we didn't have none of that prepared. Okay, and we walked in that house, and I don't know why I didn't think that my kids was gonna be like, "Mommy, like what?" It didn't dawn up. That part was gone. Like, cause when I walked in the house and they see me, I was like, in my head, I was like, dang, I didn't even think about the fact that they're gonna see me and they're gonna be like, "What the heck is you doing here?"
Yeah.
And then it was like me, my mom, my dad. So they was like, "Mommy, grandma, granddad."
I knew right then and there.
You did?
Something is not right.
Because of that.
Number one, grandma and granddad came to Jacksonville.
They did.
Because of granddad RC competition thing. So that wasn't, out of the ordinary a little bit. But when I seen you in Jacksonville, that's when, no, I'm not saying that.
Okay, but
you knew ahead of time
that was coming.
You didn't just show up.
Right, exactly.
Right, okay.
Because it was Nikki dad popping up unexpectedly, then everybody else, and then now it's you. Now I'm like, in my head, I was happy to see you, of course, you noticed that, but once we got brought into the living room and we was told to sit down.
Mm-hmm. You know them.
I knew that's when something kept screaming to me like something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nikki is hiding around the corner.
She was hiding.
She crying too, and we never see her cry. She's
And
not a
then
crybaby.
The whole time, because we're asking, where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I knew something was something was wrong.
It was crazy. It was a little crazy, but nevertheless, you know, it was the statement came out, and it was complete pandemonium, obviously. And which you know it's gonna be pandemonium. That it is what it is. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about the pandemonium. The pandemonium is gonna happen. But in that moment, for me as a parent and as a mother, I felt very helpless. And I was looking to my mom to for help, but my mother was helpless.
Right.
My mother, although she could identify with them because her dad is deceased, she still was helpless. She still was like, you know, what do I do? Do I go for my daughter? Do I go for my grandkids? What do I do? It was a feeling that I don't want to feel no more. Okay, I'm just say that. I know I'm probably gonna have to, obviously, but death is a part of life. But and then a couple days after that, you know, once we got all that together, the funny thing is, after all of that calmed down and we all started to just kind of just calm down and get quiet a little bit, and I was gonna go back to the hotel, this boy wanted to go to school the next day.
Sure did.
And I was like, you want to go to school? And he was like, yeah, I want to go to school, Mom. And I said, okay, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. And then I was going to go back to my mom's house because the funeral was going to take a minute because, again, like I said, Howard was murdered. So it took a minute for them to release his body, obviously. So I was going to go back to my mom's house. But these two was like, do not leave me. I don't want to be here. I don't want to stay here. I want to go. And I can understand that for real, because I would want to go with my mama too. Like, wait a minute, where you going?
Right.
And Jake was like, Mom, please don't leave me. Please, Mom, I just want to go to school, take my test. Please don't leave me. I would never leave him anyway. I don't know why he kept playing that, but
it was more in the sense of I wanted to go to school because I wanted to be around my friends at that time. And,
she texting. Go ahead.
I wanted to be around my friends, and a lot of them knew. And I remember a girl who I wish I knew her name, but sadly I don't. I cannot remember it. And I'm pretty sure if I go back to Jacksonville, I'm going to see her, or North Carolina, I might see her. But anyways,
hey girl, if you watching.
Yeah, but I used to always give her hugs, and I remember like 3 days before I found out, she seen me in the hallway, and as soon as she seen me, it was like a ghost. She had seen a ghost, and she turned around and ran away. And I'm like, bro, what did I do to you?
Yeah, but
And the day that I found out and I came back to school, she like walked up to me and told me what happened. She said she seen it on the news, and she didn't know
what to say.
Exactly what to say. So when she seen me come to school and that day, and I was happy, she was like, she knew I didn't see it. So she was like, I couldn't tell you, so I just ran away.
And that's ironic that it was on the news way in North Carolina when he, like I said, he was in Atlanta.
Right.
But that was crazy. But I did take my kids away from the pandemonium of the week before the funeral. Us in our culture. You know, the week before the funeral is a bunch of people in and out, a bunch of people in and out, and they're there to give you comfort and make sure they bring you food and tissue and all kinds of stuff so that you don't have to take your brain off of it. But I always wonder why they did it before and not after.
Right.
Because before, your brain ain't even thinking anyways.
Facts.
And then once the funeral is done, everybody goes on about their way, and you're still stuck in that, you know, feeling of what happened to everybody. Where everybody go? And I just never, I understood why they did it before, but whatever. That's what they do. You fool?
I'm so full.
So, like, what did y'all do to, kind of like, what helped y'all to kind of pick yourself up and try to move on with your lives, knowing that your dad was no longer in your lives? We'll talk about you in a minute. But Jaquan, what did you do? What were some tools that you used to help you just keep moving? What did you do?
Now that I think about it, it really was the internet.
The internet?
Yeah, if you don't remember, frankly, I used to spend a lot of time on the computer. And then, as well, too, jerking, dancing.
Okay.
I was drawing. When I moved back to New York, I was in photography class, film class. So it was like, I guess in a huge sense, I put my pain and a whole bunch of stuff, like, or just dealing with trauma into, like, art.
Okay.
Because to be honest with and I admit this now, but at that time period when I was dating, I wasn't dealing with my trauma, so it was like I was just a wall. Like, you couldn't get nothing out of me. Like, I was so nonchalant, and I didn't want to reveal anything about me because I wanted to be so private because I was so hurt.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that. You?
Are you texting?
No, she laughing.
Kiara
dealt with her. Kiara
Oh,
dealt
that's
with.
why she laughed.
Kiara dealt with her pain so much more different. So much more different than Jaquan. Kiara did not deal with her pain. That was the problem. She didn't deal with her pain. She let it fester for about a year or two-ish, somewhere around in there. And she kept thinking that, right? You kept thinking that she needed to be strong for her sisters and brothers. Well, her sisters and brothers, not this one because he's the oldest. She's after that, and then she thought she had to be strong for the ones after her. I don't know why she thought that. I mean, but I guess that's how a big sister is supposed to, maybe. What you think? Come on, Kara.
First, I had to actually admit that he was actually gone. Because for the first year, I did not believe it.
Yep, that's true.
It took going to a therapist for me to actually believe it. That first time he took me, it was like, yeah, something's up.
Yeah, I get that.
And then it was, I felt like I had to be strong for them. And I couldn't show my feelings because I didn't want them to show their feelings.
And I don't understand that. Why is that? Why do you feel like you can't show your feelings?
She's an Aquarius.
Is that what that is?
It's part of the reason.
Aquarius don't show your feelings or something?
You have 2 Aquarius children.
And an Aquarius mother.
I don't know what that means though, for real.
His zodiac sign Aquarius.
I know that, but I'm saying like
it's
Aquarius.
2 different types of Aquarius. There's one that constantly show their feelings, like your grandma. No offense, grandma.
No offense, grandma.
But like she can cry, she can do that, and then it's like me and Jaquan. It's like
We're aloof.
You're aloof. She's not aloof. I don't know what he might be aloof, but she's totally not aloof, honey. She cries. She shows her feelings. Okay.
Yeah, but to you.
Yeah. Oh, to me.
Because
okay.
You say
okay. Yeah. Okay. But even still, she didn't show that vulnerability to me.
It took a minute.
It took a minute for her to finally say, "Ma, I'm not okay." Or no, she didn't even say, "Ma, I'm not okay." She said, "Thanks for." I don't really want to do that because I don't really want to tell your stuff.
I mean, can say it. I tried to take my life.
You did.
I did.
She did.
Oh wait, for YouTube purposes, she tried to commit because they might mock you.
Girl.
Okay, but let's say it in a more kid appropriate.
Okay.
I tried to go speak to Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not funny, y'all.
It's funny
not
today.
Funny. It's funny today. It definitely is funny it's not even funny today. But I was not expecting her to say it like that. She just said it. That's what the I think so. Maybe. But because it's not a laughing matter at all. It's totally not a laughing matter at all. But I was just not expecting her to say, go see Jesus. But this was not. That statement was like, what? But yeah, she did. She did try to do things that it's not okay. No. It's not okay. And it was because of the pain, right? The pain that she was going through, what she was feeling, losing her father, trying to figure out how to feel. Shoot, I'm sure y'all had some moments where y'all had to try to figure out how to feel. Yes.
Because you expect to be over it. Like you
Okay.
expect that when you wake up, 10 years later, 15 years later, yeah, you won't wake up with that same feeling. And you still, every day you
wake up with that same feeling.
Yeah,
right, that same different kind of feeling. I get that. So they both, they had different ways of dealing with their pain, right? He decided to do something positive as far as the art that he was doing, dancing that he was doing. She, unfortunately, it's not funny.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, she
I
chose
have my
a different.
dark moments.
She chose a different path, and we got through it. We got through it, right? We got through it. It was. Excuse me. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to check my camera because it just did something weird, and I wanted to make sure that it was still recording. So we were talking about the different ways in which they took to kind of like get over it. Where he did something positive, she unfortunately went a different route than what he did. But that was her path, and that was what she had to do, and that's what she thought she had to do. Obviously, that's what she was feeling, depression, all that kind of stuff. And so, dang, I was gonna ask something before my camera started doing something funky, which that's what I hate. I hate when the camera start doing stuff because you have a what is called
Momentum.
this boy good with words. Ain't he good with words? Shoot, because he be like, I should have him on my shoulder all the time. No, I'm just playing. But, it was just her path. His path was this. Her path was that. So, the one thing about Howard that I absolutely will always respect is the fact that his kids was going to be close no matter what. No matter what the female he was with, no matter if the baby moms got along or not, none of that. He didn't care about any of that. What he did care about is that my kids gonna know each other. I'm not gonna have two kids over here and then two kids over here and neither one of them know their names or don't know nothing about them, what they do, what their likes and all that kind of stuff. He was very serious about that. He wanted his kids together. He wanted to make sure that his kids knew each other, knew their likes, their dislikes, all of that. So in that was a really good thing too, because I have the two kids, but they had other siblings, right? That y'all could kind of like lean on. Even though I have the two oldest ones, that doesn't mean that your younger sisters can't lean on your younger sisters for help. And then also too, they understood what each other was going through. Nobody understood what each other was going through better than the six of them, right? So, no matter how young or old they were, they understood better than anybody. Better than anybody. And Jaquan may have understood why Kiara decided her path, and Kiara might understand why Jaquan decided his path, where I don't understand either path. You know what I mean? Seriously. Because I've not been through that, right? Yeah. So I don't know what I would do. I was just talking to Mommy the other day too. The funny thing is, I was just talking to Mommy the other day, and we were talking about her wishes and what that she would want if she can't make them for herself. And so I said, I don't want to be the one to make the decision to turn the machine off. And I said, if I have to be the one to turn the machine off, I don't want to do that. So I want you to already tell me that you don't want the machine, so I already know she don't want the machine, so I don't have to make that decision. I said, because for me, if I had to make the decision, the machine to be stay on, and you'll be in my house, and I would come and change your diaper and clean you up and everything every single day, while the machine keeps you alive. Now, that's what my brain said. Well, okay, I should say
Your heart.
that's what my heart says, right? But I'm sure that my brain and logic and all of that, my sisters, will, you know, come in and say, girl.
Your wallet.
My wallet, yeah, my wallet.
Because that's going to be expensive.
My wallet will come in and be like, girl, sit your tail down somewhere. But, you know, so I just don't know what my path is. I'm not ready to know what my path is or see the path. Let me ask y'all something really deep, and I hope that this doesn't go too bad. How did y'all feel about not being able to say goodbye to your dad? How did y'all feel about that? Because, first of all, Howard died the day after Mother's Day. And the one thing for me and Howard used to be, the funny thing about us is, Howard, every holiday Howard had the kids. People used to be like, do you have kids? And I used to be like, I do, but they just always want to be with their dad.
Not on the holidays.
No, I did not, right. I didn't have kids on holidays because Howard came and got his kids religiously for holidays, okay? Right. And for Mother's Day, I would call him and be like, Happy Mother's Day. And he would be like, ha, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you too. But he still would, if he was in town, he still would bring like a rose or something every Mother's Day if he was in town because he moved out of town. But that Mother's Day, I said 15 times, call Howard and tell him Happy Mother's Day. Call Howard and tell him Happy Mother's Day. Call Howard and tell him Happy Mother's Day. Call Howard. I said it over and over all day long, all day long. Oh my God, I forgot to call Howard and tell him Happy Mother's Day. All day, I was at church and then I went out to dinner and then I got home and all day I said, call Howard, call Howard, call Howard. And I just kept forgetting and I didn't do it. And then, all right, y'all, my camera overheated, so we had to just kind of chill out for a little while and let it calm down a little bit. In the middle of us talking, y'all. But I think when I clicked out, I was talking about the day before, wherein, you know, me and Howard had this thing of me calling him on Mother's Day, blah, blah, blah. I think all of that was in there, hopefully. And that day I didn't do it. That particular Mother's Day I didn't do it. And the next day, this happens. And I think about that all the time. All of the time I think about that. And I wish that I had took that one opportunity to call him. And then another thing too, like 2 weeks before he died, maybe, he came to New York and he kept calling me and was like, where you at? Because his friend lived across the street from my sister at the time. And he kept saying, where you at? I'm over here at your sister's house. Where you at? Come over here where we at. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming. But I was doing something else. I don't even remember what I was doing. But I was doing something else. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, Howard. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I'll be over there. If you're still there, fine. If you're not, who cares? That was my mood at the time. And I hate that I did that because I could have been able to, one, see him and two, talk to him. So I was asking y'all, or did y'all answer the question already? But I was asking y'all how y'all felt about, how do y'all feel about not being able to say goodbye to your dad before he was murdered? Son, or you want Kara to go first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Age before beauty.
Oh, age before beauty.
Let's not do that.
I'm more popular, so
somebody answer. Anyway, it don't matter which one of y'all.
Well, I go first. The last time I had a conversation with him was on Mother's Day too. I was on punishment, and which everybody knows I stayed on punishment.
Punishment.
Yeah.
And so what?
Yeah, I had a conversation with him for literally like 38 seconds to a minute.
It was cold.
Huh?
I hate that fry was cold.
Oh yeah, that's just my stuff. You mind? But I basically asked him, could I get off of punishment, and he was like, nah, you gonna stay on punishment until I get back. And I got upset because I'm like, I'm in Charlotte, like. I'm supposed to be having fun with all the rest of the kids. I shouldn't be on punishment. Mm-hmm. So I just handed the phone. I don't even know who. I just handed the phone away because I didn't want to talk to him no more. And that's like one of the things that I still regret to this day, because literally that was the last conversation that I had with my father.
Yeah.
And you can never get that back.
Right.
But I mean, I'll be okay. I'll be
Yeah.
okay.
What about you?
Kind of the same thing. It's not that I didn't want to talk to him. I was boy crazy. And there was a guy there that I had a crush on. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I gotta go. I'll talk to you, later. And I wish I would have actually had a conversation with him. Because the last thing I said was, all right, I'll talk to you later. That was the last thing. And I cannot remember the last time I seen him before that.
Seen who?
Daddy.
You
I
want
want
to
to say
explain
this.
that?
Oh, like, sorry. He would leave for, a certain period of time every now and then. And before he was gone out of town, I don't know, he was in Atlanta, I guess. And
Dang, that hurt.
you good?
I don't even know what
And before the last time I seen him before he passed away, I think was my birthday. But I'm not 100% sure. It was either my birthday or Christmas because he was always there for Christmas.
Dang, he was gone for a long time.
Yeah, he had been gone for a minute that last time.
Okay.
And so not being able to see him or not being able to remember the last time I laid eyes on him, and then knowing that the last conversation was just, all right, I'll talk to you later because I wanted to go and talk to a boy. Yeah, that's something I'll regret to the rest of my life.
Yep. Okay. Well, the earring does not want to stand. We okay. That's fine. Yeah, I can understand that. That's hard. That's hard to be in an argument with somebody and then the next day, they're no longer there and you can't go back and you can't say you're sorry and all of that kind of stuff. So now that it is 15 years later, it will be 15 years in May. 15 years later, Kiara and I, because Jaquan was always in another state, Kiara and I did things up until the 5th year. And then after the 5th year, she didn't want to do anything anymore. She was over it. We sent the balloons for him. And then on the 5th anniversary, we tried. We attempted.
We got 1 out of the 5 or something.
Yeah, what was it called? Lanterns or something? Yeah. Lanterns up for him, and like she said, we got 1 and it was just a disaster for the other ones.
We had 1 on the bridge and did it.
Yeah, we had 1 on the bridge and everything, and it was just like nope. So now that it's been, and then after that, Kiara no longer wanted to do it anymore. She was over it. She didn't want to do it anymore. Yeah. Now that it's been 15 years, and does it seem like 15 years? No. It honestly does not feel like 15 years has went past at all. But now that it's been 15 years, is there something special other than this video that you want to do, like balloons or like the lanterns or something like that, or you just want the day to come and go?
I personally want the day to come and go, but that's because I remember him daily now. That's what got me over everything. Well, not over it, but able to function is remembering him daily.
Right.
So on the day of his anniversary of his death, maybe his birthday. We can celebrate his birthday this year, maybe.
Okay, but not the okay. What about you?
Kind of care. It's like, I don't know, I'm over celebrating the day that he passed.
You just want to celebrate
his
birthday or something like that.
Yeah.
I understand. I heard somebody on YouTube say the same thing. They don't celebrate the anniversary of their parents' death. They do celebrate the birthday, but just not the day.
Sense,
they don't even recognize that day at all.
You're just celebrating trauma. And then
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're just sitting with the thoughts that you had that same day years ago. So it's like, I would much rather celebrate on his birthday because I'm more than likely to think about all the positive thoughts and memories that I had with him rather than the day in the living room in Jacksonville where everybody,
right, where everybody came
felt
in.
like my childhood was snatched from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
that's...
So speaking of memories, closing out, getting ready to close this video out, because we don't want to beat a dead horse, because I got my kids through this without no tears. I didn't have to stop because of tears, nothing. I'm so excited. But other stuff that I had too, but not y'all, thank God. But closing out this video, what are some memories that y'all have of him that y'all could vividly remember? Wait, no, before we say that, I asked Jay Quan this question a couple years ago. So I want to ask again. Do you still remember what his voice sound like?
Clear as day.
Clearly?
Clear.
Okay.
I can remember his voice, his laugh, his smile. His smile, I can remember. Cause it's literally
your smile.
So I just look in the mirror and see that. But his voice, his laugh, not his when something was funny and caught him off guard, that snicker he used to do. I can remember that. And his voice clear.
And you too?
Yeah.
You too?
I can hear him scream my name.
Oh yes, because he did that quite often, didn't he? Quite often, didn't he?
And just like little other things, like I remember when me and him was driving to Atlanta and he exposed what he really did
for a living. Okay.
And just all the game that he gave me while driving. I remember that.
Okay. Because he kept it real with y'all.
Yeah.
He did.
He kept it real with y'all. It was no holds bar. And he let y'all know, you know, this is this and this is that. Which, you know, you got to respect him for. Now, then, probably not. Me, anyways. I was like, boy, what are you doing?
He did what was not done now. Which
exactly.
He was a thug teaching us to not be tough.
Right,
but
right.
The thing is, it's not like to say like he raised us to be punks because we none of us are punks. Right. But it was just like it's more cooler to be the smart guy than it is to be the tough guy.
Yeah.
Because the smart guy gets the money and has fun.
Absolutely.
Tough guy has the most problems. Got people trying to kill him. Blah 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 blah. So it's like.
Yeah, because he was serious about the school thing, honey. Serious, and if he was still living, they probably both would be college graduates. I did not make them go to college.
College graduate.
You would definitely be, because it was a you gonna do this
I am
for
one.
him. Oh, she is one. I'm sorry. Yeah. It took you a couple years.
It did. But, you know, I got there.
You got there. You did. But what I'm saying is y'all will be in your careers. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it was like you doing it. For me, I pushed back a lot for y'all after he died. I gave more when he died because I felt like that was my way of making the blow so easier, or at least I thought that was a good way. It probably was. Hindsight, it wasn't, because if you think back to the years of when, you know, after he passed and then now, and I think back to all the different things that we went through, a lot of things that I wish I never would have did when when I was forced into being a single parent. Because even though I wasn't married to Howard, I still didn't look at myself as a single mother, because, you know, I could call him at any given time and let's go, buddy. But to now be this single parent with these two children, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I always made sure that each and every person that I dated, was with, married, whatever, they were first. You were not. And I will leave the building if they feel uncomfortable. I'm out of here. See you later. Deuces. And that still holds even as an adult, my adult children, that still holds. I still will move traffic to try to get to wherever they are. And I think a lot of that comes from my own mom, because my mom would literally move traffic to get to where her kids are, even her grandkids, though. She did that for her grandkids too. But a lot of things that I regretted when we lost, or well, when I was trying to figure out this whole single mother world. One thing, I wasn't used to having 2 kids in the house. Because they were gone. They was with their dad. And when I tried to get them back, they cried. And it was like, what do you mean you don't want to come home? And I understood because it was just us. And they could have their other sisters and brothers. They had, land they could play in. And Howard was big on buying all this different stuff they could play with.
Yeah,
so animals, all kinds of stuff. And when they came home, I made a whole lot of bad decisions. That I don't even think they know that I knew that I felt this way. I mean, they probably did, but I made a lot of bad decisions, meaning one being moving to Arkansas and pulling them out of the schools that they were in and bringing them here in a new environment, new friends, new culture shock, everything. And it was just such a bad decision. And sometimes I think about that sometimes. I be thinking in my head like, I wish I could go back a little bit and then come back and do it all over again. And then too, I let them do stuff that I probably wouldn't let them have done if their dad was still here. Like, I can't really think of things right now, but it's a lot of stuff like cell phones for one thing. Both of them had their own cell phones, and like I used to rob Peter to pay Paul to make sure that they had cell phones. I robbed Peter to pay Paul to make sure that they had things that they wanted. Like Jaquan wanted a laptop, and Jaquan, when I first moved here, Jaquan literally never went outside. Never went outside, and I wanted him to have something that he can, kind of, keep him company or something, because Jaquan said to me one time, and it broke me down. At that moment I said, you made a mistake, girl. You wasn't thinking, and you made a mistake. He was like, Ma, I hate it here. And I was like, what do you do now? Well, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, we're here. Like, what do I do? But I felt like the situation we were in, he was not being treated the way I would expect him to be treated. And I was like, oh, we got to go. Because no. But I didn't think that through properly. So I really always regretted that. So I just wanted to tell you to how sorry I am for uprooting y'all lives and leaving. Well, I didn't leave her. She didn't want to leave my sister. But just the culture shock. You know what I'm saying? The feeling of you having to make new friends. And this girl, when she first finally did come to Arkansas and go to school, she was literally shaking to go in the school. And I'm like, I can't go with you. You gotta go by yourself. Like, I can't come. And all of that, just I think about that kind of stuff right now, and I think about, maybe I still should have. I regret. I'm gonna tell you one thing that I do regret. I regret not keeping the seriousness of education that he had. I didn't do that. I didn't make y'all go to college. I told y'all that y'all can go if y'all wanted to go. The reason why is because I feel like if you don't want to go to college, you ain't gonna go. You're gonna go because somebody else making you go, but either you're not gonna finish, you're gonna go into a field that you really don't want to be in, you're doing it for somebody else. And I didn't want that. I wanted y'all to do stuff that you wanted to do. That you wanted to do, not what I wanted you to do, right? So
yeah, you wanted us to be doctors and lawyers.
yeah, I did. I wanted y'all to be doctors and lawyers and all kinds of stuff. I really did, but whatever. Do y'all think that is a reason? Well, not for her, but more for you. Do y'all think that is a reason why, or reason why you have not brought any children in this world? Because, the whole thing of, well, where's your dad at? Daddy, where's your daddy? And hearing you talk about your dad and knowing that person or your child could never meet the man that you cherish the most. Do you think that plays a part in you not having kids, or you just literally not ready to be bringing kids in this world?
I'm not ready, and
Okay.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm not ready for kids. I believe I am, in a sense, like as far as like taking care of them and being a father to them.
Yes.
Like emotionally ready?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as like, I don't want a baby mama.
I get you.
I don't want my kid to experience. You got to go to your mom's house because I got to do this, and me and your mom beefing right now, so I can't talk to you right now. Like, I don't want that, and in a sense, I gotta thank you for that because although as we were growing,
What? I don't know what.
I'm pretty sure Kiara know what I'm about to say, but as we were growing up, she would always say, "You better not bring no kids in the house. You better not bring no kids." So it's like, but in a huge sense, she would be honest with us and be like, "Don't bring no kids in because I had y'all at a young age, and I don't want that for y'all."
I did.
And then we had examples of, having kids early, said friends, family, et cetera, to where we were like, oh yeah, that's the reason why. But as you get older and you get more wise, you realize like, I want a family. I don't want a kid. I want a family. I want to come home and have my kid come to me, and then my girl come to me, or my wife come to me, and it's a happy environment. Not yo, you're upset because I got 4 other baby mamas who I'm cool with, and they cool with me, but you just upset because I want to go see them or spend some time like I don't want to deal with that.
Okay, I got you. You was a little bit different.
I'm different with everything.
I mean, she really is. Like, geez, Louise. But Kiara has her own other health issues and why she is not a mom. But if you did not have those health issues, do you think that hindered you from having or wanting to have kids? Because you didn't always know that you did, kinda, but not really.
18.
Yeah, you did.
But
kinda.
before then, I didn't want kids.
But before then, you didn't want kids. That's right. Because you said, "Dang, I should never say I didn't want no kids."
Yeah.
But but even in that, because you could still have kids other ways. Do you think that kind of stopped you because the fact that you didn't have your dad, or that didn't even play a part at all?
No, he didn't play a part. It was you. I'm sorry, but you were always in my head. Don't be no baby mama. Don't be no baby mama.
Yeah, I did preach that.
And then you used to say, you have sex, you're gonna get pregnant. And I used to be like, nah, I can't get pregnant.
I did used to do. I did tell y'all that so much because, I did not want y'all to have no kids at a young age. I did it because it was hard to be a teenage mom with kids. It was not easy, even though I was grateful to have a good father for my kids. All of my friends did not and do not have that, and to be able to say that I did is amazing. It's simply amazing, and I love that. But closing out, is there any other things that y'all want to say?
Yes.
Okay.
You gave us the time to breathe after he died.
Okay.
Even though you feel like you did a lot of bad things or bad choices or whatever, you did the one thing very right, which was give us the time to figure out what the next step was on our own. It might have taken us some time to figure it out, but if you didn't give us that time, I don't know where I would be today. Like when I speak to my siblings and they say certain stuff, and I'll be like, I know that the reason why they feel like that is because they didn't have the time that we had to really sit in our feelings, and especially with me, you really wanted me to feel my feels, and you allowed me to do that. You gave me a space and opportunity, so I thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I would actually second that because moving from North Carolina to New York, in a sense, although I wanted to, because it was like, it was kind of like we were both tired of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So it was like, although I was leaving my friends behind, I was really intrigued on going back to New York and being with my mom and stuff. But then as well too, just to speak about Arkansas, it was like it was hard at first, but I have never had so much time to just be alone and really figure out who I am and what I want to do and how I want to leave my impact on the world. And then that's where I found that I didn't want to truly go to college. And it was also, it was like, if I do go to college, it's because I want to make my mom happy. And then once I graduated and you told me, like, I don't care what you do, I just want you to be happy.
Right.
You know, you going after your dreams is what's going to make me happy. And that's what helped me push me to take that jump to go to Los Angeles and pursue the music industry. And then as well too, me or you being open enough and not pushing something that you wanted on us, that helped me learn things outside of what a school could be able to teach me. And as well too, just the skill set that I got in revolving trading. Like, if I would have went to college, who knows what I would be doing, and if I would like it and being fully in love in it. So I gotta thank you for that, because, like she said, a lot of kids don't treat their kids, or a lot of parents don't treat their kids like that, and they don't comfort and love their kids and be honest with their kids to the point to where their kids could walk away from that conversation with a different perspective.
Right.
And it's not from a child's perspective. It's from a piece of an adult's perspective. We may not understand it right then and there, but because we got that insight, when we go alone and we're doing our internal dialogue, we could piece together like, oh, okay, I get the reason why she said that, because if I go this way, then this is what's going to happen. She don't want that for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And a lot of that comes from my own parent, my mom and my dad, because a lot of things that they said that I would know or I would see or I would understand when I get my own kids, and I was like, I guess she was right. I get it. I definitely get it. And wherein she, you know, and I come from a 2-family home. My parents have been married for next month will be 56 years.
Jeez.
And so, it was very weird to me to go to your dad's house or come to my house or whatever. It was weird because I didn't do that. My daddy was in the house with us our entire lives. So, but even though, you know, I took them to their dads or they were with their dads, I still didn't feel like a single parent, which is crazy, right? Which is totally crazy, but I didn't. I would always tell people, I'm not a single parent. I'm not married to my kid's father, but I'm not a single parent. Right. You know what I mean? But anyways, I just wanted to have a candid conversation with my children. And just, I don't know that if this video is going to help somebody that may have just lost their dad. Whether that be today, yesterday, last month, last year, 10 years ago, whatever, and just don't know how to feel and don't have somebody to talk to about how that feels, and they don't understand when they're trying to explain it to them. Maybe my children was able to help you able to help you to be able to move on or to figure it out. You know, you might take the path of Jaquan, where, you know, he did something positive, and not to say that Kiara's was, well, it was negative. Never mind.
Don't take my path. That's what she's
but
trying
even
to
if
say.
you do, but no, that's not what I'm saying. But even like I said, if you take a Jaquan path where you decide that you want to go to school, art school, and you start drawing, you start dancing, and all these different things that, you know, he did, or even if you are in the situation where you feel like enough is enough and I'm about to take my life, hopefully this video or this will show you that you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. You can get through it, right? You can get through it. It ain't gonna be easy, obviously, but you can get through it. And my kids tell me all the time, you never get over it. You just learn how to deal with it. And so 15 years later, they are still moving on, pushing forward, and dealing with it, right? Even though every day is every day is a thought, right? Every single day is a thought.
Every day is different.
Even though even with me, there is never a day that I wake up wherein that face doesn't show up somewhere throughout my day. I used to dream about him all the time, and it drove me crazy. And my mom told me to just pray and ask God to tell him to leave you alone and go on. And he did. He did for a little while, but then, you know, he came back. But you know, I'm not as afraid as I was back then. It used to be weird, but nevertheless, hopefully this video, these guys can help whomever is out there that may be listening to this and watching this, that it's gonna be okay. It's definitely gonna be okay, right?
Don't distract yourself.
Yeah. Always do something to get you moving, right? You're not gonna get your brain off of it, right? It's gonna be somewhere. What is it gonna be like? You know, you can't get your brain off of it. Your mind off of it, totally not. But you learn ways to deal with it better, right? You learn, right?
Don't do too much of what I did to get over it, because you're just putting a band-aid on it.
Yeah, like, exactly. But find your way to deal with it. You know, they found their ways to deal with it, and they pulled out of it. Find your way, and I hope that they will help somebody out there that may be watching and are going through the same thing. And you may not even be going through this. You may be going through something totally different. It may not be your mom, your dad. It may be your mom, auntie, whatever, whoever it may be. I'm hoping that this video will help you all get through it and get past, not past, I don't want to say that, but get through it, right? Yeah. So thank y'all so much for coming back for another video. I do hope that you all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure y'all talk to me down in the comment section if y'all want to ask any questions to these guys. I will definitely let them know and get. Why are you laughing?
No.
But if you have any questions for these guys, comment down below and I will definitely let them know. If you want to know what their social medias is, look in the description box. I will put both of their social medias in that. Yes, I will. I will put both of their social medias in my description box. Now let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna put their social medias in my description box, but don't be weird to my kids, okay? I just told y'all, you know, and I will stop the traffic. You feel me?
Aquarius is, you might not get a response.
But I will most definitely put their social medias in the ones that they give me that they want y'all to have, anyways. In the description box, so you all can reach out to them if you want to ask them any kind of questions positively. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.